Hello, Jack and Jills. This is Epicabotch here, bringing you another session of Werewolf the Apocalypse. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw out my shoutouts, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Probably going to be a short session today, just planning the few things that I'm going to do for Werewolf. Yeah, so one of the NPCs I'm going to make today... Alright, give me just a moment. Gotta make sure everything's refreshing correctly. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we're gonna make Bethany. She is a Bonar. In my campaign, he lives in Anchorage here. And she's kind of like this feisty, like, I could totally take the world on kind of Bonar. Doesn't take crap from anybody. She's just that kind of person. Let's see, Friday night game. She's a Hamid. Imagine that. She is... Oh shoot, I don't think I've ever... I don't want to make everyone in her room. Let's make her Galliard. I don't know, I've never really thought about it for her. She doesn't have a pack, she does have kinfolk though. Don't take... takes no sass. Alright, let's go ahead. I've got to pull up my thing. I'm getting to the point where I almost remember how to make characters off the top of my head, but I'm not quite there yet. We're gonna say that she's... mental, then physical, then social, just because she's obviously very smart. Smart. She's got a lot of perception, a lot of wits. You kind of have to be those and have those things if you're going to live on the streets. We're going to just do that across the board. Perception, intelligence, and then what else? We'll give her wits. That's 5, 6, 7. So, average intelligence, but really perceptive and high wits. Then across the board for social skills, just because I like to play it safe like that. And I can't imagine actually putting one in something. And then physical, let's see. Okay, so overall not a bad setup. Let's pick out her abilities. She has talent, skills, and knowledges. Obviously they all do. What is she gonna be good in? Gosh, this is another hard one for her. Probably knowledges will be tertiary. She probably went to some school, probably has some... She doesn't use it on a daily basis by any means, but she definitely knows how to use computers. Investigation would be good, and she probably has some medicine. As well as... she doesn't... Not everyone has to know occult. She knows what she knows, and she's okay with that. Let's give her a little bit more to enigmas. So from there, what are we gonna do? We'll make talents her primary. She definitely knows how to brawl. Empathy, that definitely has intimidation. Has actually a fair amount of leadership. You would have a lot of... I'm spending way too much, aren't I? I am. 3, 6, 9... 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so maybe she didn't start out with intimidation and leadership. So there's our 13. So that seems pretty reasonable. And then 9 for this one. We'll give her that. She probably knows how to drive, she just doesn't. She's a Bonar and has no need for etiquette. But she does have stealth and survival. she'd have to have a decent survival for living here in the wintertime. Let's see, what else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we'll give her a dot in firearms. She knows how to shoot one and knows how to take care of them, but doesn't really do much with that. Where would she? Alright, so that's pretty quick. Let's go ahead and give her some gifts. She'll definitely have city running. She's only going to be a rank 1. Jane, she's pretty much a lone bonar here. And doesn't really worry about it too much. And then we'll actually give her, oops. It's a 1 homid. Let me just do that. Stop it. And we'll give her smell ban. Which is another 1 homid. Kind of, my understanding is it makes it, see, non-supernatural creatures, non-supernatural wild animals lose 2 dice from their pools when interacting with the GRU, save when defending themselves or running away, and will be inclined to flee rather than attack if possible. Domesticated animals recognize the werewolf as a friend, and even trained attack dogs will do no more than wag their tails at the character unless attacked first. Okay, so it's pretty good spread for her. She is Galliard. So let's start down here and head back up. Oh, always doing this, I see. Scroll, 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 scroll. Here are Galliard gifts. Beast speech, call of the wild, heightened senses, mind speak. Oops. Let's see, what else do we have here? Perfect recall. We're gonna give her heightened senses. That's a little level 1 Galliard. Yeah, I always have a hard time with Galliard gifts. Like, conceptually they seem really cool because they're supposed to be like the real roleplay ones. Probably a little bit more challenging from that perspective. But they don't, I don't know. I guess my opinion is system-wise don't necessarily have the best gifts. But I think it all just depends on what you want to do with that. So really doesn't matter. Alright, so there's that. Now we just need to pick, let's see, her renowned. No, what? Oh gosh. Last gift. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. Gifts, where are you? I just had you. Oh, it got minimized, that's why I'm all confused. Rebel, she's Bonar, so she should be pretty close to the front. I haven't really gotten a good chance to look through the Bonar gifts. Let's see, so cooking, oh gosh. So the player rolls wits plus survival difficulty 6. The resulting meal feeds 1 person per success. So she's able to make a small pot of food out of basically garbage and makes it edible. Oh gosh, she's gonna have that one. Ugh. And that's a Bonar. Interesting. This part right here, I'd have to look more into. When rolling a fetus strike, the werewolf may add 1 die to the roll for each level of bashing damage he is willing. Oh, okay, so it's basically just I'm willing to take 3 levels of this. Oh, okay, so it makes fetus strength a lot easier. She'll have resist toxin. It's a level 1 Bonar. Scent of sweet honey. What is this? Player spends 1 Gnosis point and rolls Wits plus Subterfuge. The target suffers a -1 penalty to all actions. A target that grew touched at some point during the last hour begins to exude a wonderfully sweet aroma and becomes slightly sticky to the touch. All manner of vermin quickly... Oh, that's really cool. I can see that being really useful. Alright, Trash is Treasure. The refuse of humanity provides all the Canyon Bonar needs. Through the use of this gift, any broken object can be temporarily restored to full functionality and usefulness. The lifespan of the object's renewed usefulness can be extended to 1 full day by spending a point of willpower. Interesting. Interesting. Bodars has some really interesting gifts. I'm going to also give her Scent of Sweet Honey. And that's a level 1 Bonar gift. Desperate Strength is cool too. They have some pretty good first level gifts. But we'll call it there. Alright, and then she's a Galliard, so she has 4 Rage, a Gnosis, and 3 Willpower points. And now we just had the freebie points. Wow, look at this! I'm getting the hang of this. Probably helps that she's only rank 1, so I don't have to look through as many gifts for her. Freebie points. Come on. And here we go. So we have attributes, abilities. Okay, so I wanted to give her a little bit more ability. So 2, 4, 6, 8. She has 8 there. 10. And 12. 13, 14, 15. Alright, and then giving her XP, so that's probably, she's probably gonna have, I don't know, 50 XP. And she's a Bonar, she doesn't care about rank, and she's been around for a little bit, but not super long, and has not been doing a lot of stuff in the meantime. So let's go down to, I'm gonna find experience. Okay. Sorry. Me easily being distracted. Okay. So I'm giving her about 50 XP. So that's, she's already spent 9 on the gifts. I wanted to give her a little bit more intimidation. So that's 2, 4, yeah, 4. So 6. 2, 4, and then 4, 4, so another 8. Just kind of stealth survival, kind of rounding that out a little bit. And then let's round out this side. She's gonna have some law. Oh, I gave her larceny. So that's 2. That's 20, total of 29 so far is what we're at. Probably has a little bit more to 6, another 6. Plus, so we're at 35 now. So not bad for getting level character. She probably has an appoint and a cult, so that's another 3. rituals. I think I could give her a ritual of, what's it called? Cardboard box palace, which is specifically a Bonar gift that kind of just makes a cardboard box very, very comfortable, essentially. Nothing wrong with that. Rounded that out a little bit more. Let's give her a little bit more larceny. She just kind of seems like the kind of person that would break into stuff to me. All right, so that's 4. Another 4 plus, I think I'm gonna, whoops. Raise that 4 plus 6. All right, and that puts us at 51. So, yeah, not too shabby. She has 51 XP. So the group met her pretty early on. They just kind of knew her as Bethany in a homeless camp. Oh, I forgot to pick backgrounds for her. We're just gonna give her a lot of kinfolk. Oh, I could give her something else. I forget what's restricted for Bonars. Is anything? I mean, pure breed's restricted. What else? That's gonna be under tribes, right? Yes. Bonars. Initial willpower. Really? They get 4? Interesting. I wasn't aware of that. Actually, you know what? I think I'll give her totem as the other one. And just have it be rat. Totem. 2 and totem. Neat. Which could help account for why she doesn't really have a pack and why she's kind of been up here alone and works a little bit more lone wolf. It's not that she's opposed to Guru hanging out and stuff, but she definitely doesn't have the biggest inclination towards them. So, she definitely stayed in school, has some, how to even start with her. She grew up in Alaska. Grew up in Alaska. Was found by another Bonar. Who has since passed away. Yeah. Actually, it's possible her, let's say her mom was a Bonar. She wasn't found. Mom was a Bonar. So it's just mostly been Bethany taking care of her family. She doesn't take crap from anyone. From anyone, let alone orders. And is mostly concerned with taking care of no. Let alone orders. What else? Gosh, I'm drawing on a blank of what I'm trying to say here. No, I guess it helps if I spelled words correctly. And is usually, there we go. Gosh. Usually very, frumpy. Not the original word I was going for, but frumpy works. Although she does have a soft spot. For, people who are in trouble. Or down on their luck. Who are down on their luck. And will do what she can for them. See what else. Since meeting the group, she has she's had a change in opinion of other guru and is at least willing to listen to what they have to say. Ooh, to what they have to say. Bam. What was that alert? Anything good? Oh, Lord. Nope. Mostly, and that mostly comes down to, I mean, she did a trade with the player group, and they basically helped provide her with some materials to help take care of the people that she takes care of. So from that perspective, who's calling me Texas? I'm not gonna answer that. I don't know anyone in Texas. Or they could just leave a message. Anyways, so she's at least willing to listen to what others have to say now, because usually before was others just had to take from her, had nothing to say to her except take from her, and she just never really responded to that well. She recently, although in helping the group out, she has learned how to spell she has lost one of her eyes. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Though the group hasn't seen her yet, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. That's actually pretty quick. Bethany? Ooh. Oh, excuse me. Alright, and that's pretty straightforward. That's Bethany. She doesn't have a lot going on for her. She usually just hangs out with other homeless people out on the streets. And yeah, real quick though, because I was gonna make her, and then I kind of want to do a boss fight for this session. I am anticipating my group going and challenging. What is that? Challenging Heart of Fury, who we made on Monday. Challenging him, and I should give him a little bit more XP, but I don't think I care enough to at this point. They're going to challenge him for Right of the Cairn, to like rule the Cairn, and but one thing that none of them really know about and that's player group included, is that there's actually a Bane trapped in there that has been sealed into the earth, and there's going to be things that happen, or could happen, that might open it. So we're going to go ahead and just, I know, like, this isn't the best thing for a Bane to make, unless it's going to be made in the physical world, and it's kind of like, eh. But I'm just going to do this because this is all I have for the computer. There's not really a character sheet for Banes because they're pretty simple. For instance, we'll look at spirits. Let's see, creating Banes. Banes often materialize it in horrifying shapes that cause an effect similar to the delirium. Some take delight in that. Most have possession, blast, or charm, or corruption. Ooh, no, that's not charm. This is just, I mean, anything can be in the shape of a Bane. So let's go ahead and make a basic Bane. Ooh, let's zoom in here a little bit so you guys aren't having to squint so bad. So, I mean, basically theirs is just based off of rage, gnosis, and willpower. Willpower being their physical selves, with dex and stamina. The equivalent of dex and stamina when they are in the physical world. Rage is basically strength, and gnosis is everything else, which is a little bit like, okay, so you have rage that does absolutely one thing, willpower that does two things, and then gnosis covers everything else, and it's like, why like that? Essence is usually basically their life force, which is for some of the more hefty duty ones, that one's a little bit frustrating because they end up having a lot of life, and then they can take a long time to kill depending on what not gifts, what are these called? Charms. What charms they have. I'm just gonna put charms here. Rage, gnosis, and willpower. So speaking of that, this is gonna be, I kind of want this to be very similar to the Zimi fight that they had while they were in Russia. So a little bit more on the boss side, because why else would they seal this giant thing inside of Mount Denali? Ooh, so I'm thinking one of two things. Either it was an earth elemental that had gone rogue, and I say earth in quotation marks because it's always been a Bane. It wasn't ever converted, but its power was to move earth. Or I could do, since we're on the Ring of Fire, I could just do a lava. Dude. Can Mount Denali even erupt? The first thing that I'm seeing is that it should be a volcano. Cool. I'm just looking at Anchorage Daily News. This is published back in 2015. So Denali sits about 60 miles above the Pacific Plate, grinds beneath blah blah blah. If you draw a line from the Aleutians to volcanic features in interior Alaska, the curve goes over Denali's summit. Like its neighbors in the Alaska range, the big mountain shows no signs of having erupted, but seismologists recently noticed deep shaking that was intriguing enough to explore. About 1 year ago, a seismic station in Denali North National Park between, the visitor center, recorded an earthquake about 20 miles deep. It wasn't big, a magnitude 1.7, so not anywhere close to what we just had recently. But it shook longer than most earthquakes, which is very similar to the one we had recently, I think yesterday night, or early morning. But that was all the way out in the ocean, so that not to be too concerned. These are volcanic-like earthquakes. The type that happens when molten rock oozes beneath the surface. Ooh. They are right where volcanoes should be, right above the subducting slab at 100 kilometers depth. Okay. Oh, there's more. But Denali is not about to erupt. So I like this idea, being able to take what's going and actually happening in reality and be like, oh, I like this idea. The reason why it hasn't erupted is because they actually bound a magma bane. I really like that. Magma bane. There's some really cool stuff that I can do with that now that I know that. Oh, I've so underutilized this carrot, it's not even funny. One of these days I'll come back and I'll do it right. Alright, so to get it started, we're going to give it a lot of rage. And some gnosis. And a lot of willpower. Yeah, they're gonna love me for that. So much love. So, I mean, it has decent stats. I might have to boost it in-game somehow, because they always do better than I expect they will. They're jerks like that, in a good way. They're allowed to do that. Alright, so it's appropriate for it to have blast. I'm gonna have to look into other, oh, that's interesting. We'll give it an Umbral Quake, too. It should have some of its own, special... What's it called? Special... gifts. But to be honest, I can't imagine that, what that would be. We're gonna give it Create Fire, too. And I'll probably end up combining that somehow with Blast. Okay. So basically it'll just spew stuff. We'll have it Insight Frenzy too. It's gonna be a pretty powerful one. So I roll the difficulty of the target's willpower. Any successes causes a frenzy. 6 or more causes the werewolf to fall in the thrall. It's not gonna have possession or corruption. But I'll be a jerk and give it armor. Just trying to think. Yeah, that's, I mean, actually that's pretty simple. Banes are really easy to make. They're not hard at all. Again, like I said, I might make some specialized stuff and I might mess with its rage and willpower, but I'm gonna call that good there. Let's go ahead and save this. This is gonna be our Magma Bane. Bam. And hopefully that'll be somewhat challenging for the group. How are we doing? 30 minutes. Am I here all by myself still? I am. Oh, okay. Alright, Jack and Jills, I'm gonna call it here. I'm not super feeling up to making or doing a whole bunch more, but that basically covers my next session. Plus any role-playing, and I've already set up the role-playing for the world. But I will, the next time I get on, I think Sunday, I'll let you guys know how Friday's session went. And maybe make a little bit more, prepare for the next Friday's session. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Oh man, sorry about that. If you haven't already, go check out my Extra Life page. I will be playing this Saturday with the Chosen Ones and at Schlurfdom. definitely check us out. We'll be streaming Saturday night, starting about between 6:30 and 7:30, just depending on when dinner's done. And if you'd like to make a request for songs for me to play, because I bring my ukulele and I play it, go ahead and donate, make a donation. There's no minimum requirement, although you're helping sick kids, so the more you donate, the better and more awesome of a person you are. But you can also make a request. I do have some rules just so that you guys know, so make sure to read my page. And yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. I believe Bard will be on here in I think that's today, Wednesday, so he'll be back again on Friday, his time, which is morning time for us Americans who are silly and fun and we're awesome, but he's awesome too. So I will see you guys next time. Have a great one.